Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the stream. Today I will look for chart setups in day trading in the forex markets during the stream. I don't know if I execute during the stream. Depends on what the charts are saying. So let's see. I'm also in the live to show you a little bit what's happening to Bitcoin, what could be next, and so on. So if you want some coin, some token analysis, technical analysis, just let me know in the chat and I will do that for you. I will wait for the first people to write something in the chat and then we start. Write something in the chat. Okay, the volume is great. Let's see, another day. For me personally, these are the two levels you should be looking for, and wait for reaction, because no matter where we go, like we have this trend line here, if we break that trend line, we could possibly take out that high and then try to break that imbalance. But that imbalance is the last point of interest for the beer. So here you can clearly know that if we go into that zone, there's some selling pressure, or they just push it above to just liquidate all that shorts in one time, or we will get choppy moves here and maybe come back down. So if that happens and we lose this low, I don't even know if this would be a retracement enough. But if we come down right now, I believe personally that this could be one of our targets to reaccumulate. And if not that, and we break, let's say, it's just out of my mind, like if we break that low, we can surely contest these lows. Here are imbalances, so this could be closed, and also here on the bottom, so that would be of course, the worst case, if we come back to 25k, that would be a huge dump. Let's say from the top we printed to, let's say, 25,000, this would be a 40% correction. 45. So we see those 50% correction, which are not uncommon in the crypto markets. I really don't hope this is gonna play out. I personally think we are not gonna see it, but we never know when the Fed is gonna pivot the interest rate. The moment that happens, I mean, we clearly know if the interest rates are going sideways or up, then let's say the SPX or the Dow Jones are going up. If we go sideways, they just continue to go up. But the moment we crash the interest rates, we see a big flush in the Dow Jones, like we saw in 2020, the Corona crash, the COVID crash. So the COVID crash was basically the pivot of the Fed, nothing else than that. Okay, so that is what a lot of people don't know. But people say, yeah, when will the Fed pivot? But guys, when the Fed pivots, we're gonna have a big crash in the market, not just crypto market, but all around the markets. So let's see. I hope we see this time, during this, let's say, turmoil we have right now in the world. I would say there is a possibility that people flee to good assets. But don't forget that a correction can give people great entry prices. So a crash at the pivot, it will happen. So it just depends when the pivot will come. Because if it comes during a full blow bull market, it will not affect that greatly the price. But if we are, let's say, if tomorrow at these prices, at this price action, we're gonna have a Fed pivot, we are gonna see this 20k again. So I don't believe it's gonna happen that soon. I assume it would, for me, it would be quarter one, quarter two of 2024 when they do this. So, but we never know what they have planned behind the scenes for Bitcoin, because clearly we can see that the bears had no right to speak. Okay, so they capitalized on these little moves here. This one was quite it was not easy. I mean, this dump and this dump you could have traded very easy, but the rest here is just choppy. So once we got the break and the bears all got in here, they just pumped the price back up. So, and they did the same again and again. So the question is, who is pumping these coins? Because yesterday, I don't know, wait. So, where did I find this yesterday? I found the liquidation heat map. I found an interesting chart that shows actually that the minority is in the markets yet, and that the majority that is pumping, or the minority that is pumping Bitcoin, are institutions, and you can clearly see it in that chart. I just need to find the chart again. Give me 1 second. Here it is. So this is a chart I didn't find so long ago, but here you can clearly see, not even zooming in, that the green on the chart represents the bubble index. Let's say you surely heard from the term that a market is in a bubble and it will collapse. So that is the representation of negative sentiment or negative inflation of the price, and what's going over zero is the hyperbolic phase. So everyone is looking for Bitcoin, and here you can see the Bitcoin Google trend. So how many people are researching for Bitcoin on Google, okay, to buy some, to whatsoever. So this shows the interest of the general public, okay. And as you see here on the bottom of last bear market, we had this negative bubble index, and that represented the low of the market. Then once we had our first pump, the bubble index went positive, okay. And then when it came back to, let's say, zero and extreme fear, because here we had extreme fear because we had a very long bear market, then finally we got some price in, and then boom, we just went back down, and here was a critical resistance. If we would have break this, we could have just break the lows again. So then they pumped the price back up, but you can see I tried to go closer, but here you can see on that dump, here on that dump you can see that the price was again negative in the bubble index, okay. So that means that there was not really someone from the retail industry or normal people that were scooping up Bitcoin at that time, okay. So here obviously when we got back into a bullish trajectory, we find the top, and then the corona crash happened. So you can clearly see all these interests that was coming in, and also here a little bit hike of the interest in the Google Trends made that they had that liquidity to take, okay. So after that we went up and never basically went down for the whole bull run, okay. But this time it's different. We have something different in the charts, and I really don't know what that means. Maybe someone can help me with that, but I personally don't know what that means. And this is, look, we had this bubble index at the same, let's say, levels than the chart was. So we had extremely high, we inflated the bubble extremely high during that time, which is normal during a bull run, okay. So here you can clearly see that the hype was so great that we actually first of all didn't need to come as low as the bear markets before, and second of all, when we hit the bottom we were still in positive bubble index. So we were still overinflated. But once we pumped back up here, I don't know why, but I believe in this region here, the most people present were the bears, okay, so they wanted to short further, and once they got liquidated, the chart fell in a negative bubble index, which means that not many people were trading or investing in Bitcoin. And here you can see we are almost at an all-time low in Google Trends, so nobody is really researching for Bitcoin. Yo man, Cabanozzi, how are you doing? I'm doing great, man. Could you decrease the volume of your mic, please? It's a bit too loud. Yeah, you could also decrease the volume of the video, my friend. Because if I do it too low, the music is gonna outwork the mic. So, so here is the first time that we actually created a bottom with not a negative bubble index. So when did this negative bubble index happen? Just in those two little dumps, okay? In those two little dumps, we had actually the interest and the negative inflation of interest, let's say, coming in, which I don't know what to do with it, because here it's signaled the bottom, and here now all this bullish move with this actually signaling the bottom, I don't know how it plays out in the next months. Okay, could we just go higher because of that? Because if now we go from negative bubble index to a positive, and people start to looking for Bitcoin again on the internet and so on and so on, it could bring the price even higher. Okay, so personally I don't know exactly what this means, but if I would gamble on it, I would say it's a bullish sign, not a bearish sign. Okay, so let's see how are we with liquidations, because at the end we just got we pumped to 44.7 and we just got a 10% done, which is nothing. Okay, 10% in the market is nothing. So we just basically, it's not even a correction, it's actually it's a pullback. A pullback is not even a correction. Okay, it's just you need to understand that there's leverage in the market. So how does leverage work? Leverage is there to be taken out. So if there is too many leverages long, for example, the guys or whoever is moving the market will try to liquidate the leverage, long or short. So this means a leverage reset. And here at the top, all this last pump we had was actually where we were the most high in leverage positions open in the whole market since the Luna crash. So this move here signaled over leverage, which resulted in liquidating the leverage position. And here you can see in the last hour Ethereum is taking the lead with 100k liquidations, short liquidations, and on the 24-hour basis you can see Bitcoin is taking the lead of $34 million. 34 million. Here they say liquidation heat map, blah blah blah. So overall the total liquidations of the market in the last hour was 1 million, and in the last 24 hours was 180 million, 84 million. So 38 million in shorts were squeezed and 145 million in longs. So there are more longs being liquidated than shorts. But what is interesting is that the shorts are also getting liquidated. I mean, it's almost a third, let's say 1/4 of the amount that is getting liquidated in the longs. But don't forget, the narrative is long. So until the ETF comes out, it's normal when we flush down that there are more longs being liquidated than shorts. So what tells me that the shorts are getting liquidated is that maybe we're gonna see a price pushback up from here to retest these levels here and to fill that imbalance. But there's nothing guaranteed. You need to look at what is price doing and not try to predict something. You need to look at key levels, because key levels tell you where the market wants to go if it breaks it. Okay, the market needs to tell you where it wants to go before you take a position. Okay, most of the people do it the wrong way. They just see something and then they buy, or they long, or they short, but they never really wait for confirmation. And this is how it results to be a bad trade, because you thought something would happen but it didn't happen. So you just need to wait for the right confirmation, even if that means that you have a bigger stop or something. Okay, especially in the crypto markets, because even if you have a good position, okay, here at the bottom, it just can go down, flush you down, and then go back up. So it's very hard to trade cryptos in sideways action like this. It's easy to make money when it just goes up and up and up. But once we have these sideways actions, dump sideways action, dump sideways action, pump, it's very hard. Just the very good players in this game make money. Sure, all the other guys that made money during the pump, a lot of them will lose money on leverage. A lot of them now take out their Bitcoin and invest in something else. People are saying the music is too loud. I turned it down. Let's see what is the mic saying. Put it a little bit louder. So now it should be good. Yeah, that is for Bitcoin on the short term. We need to wait. We need to wait for it to move. We need at least a break of these highs to look for longs again. We need at least a break of these lows to look for shorts again. In this time, drink some coffee, do whatever you love in life, and then you can even put, let's say, an alarm here and an alarm here, so your app will notify you if you need to pay attention to the markets. As long as we don't break one of those two lines, you basically can't do nothing. Okay, like, you want to capitalize on these moves, you will do, sure, but not for a long time, because you will be exit liquidity one day. Let's see Ethereum. So yeah, I had this line here drawing on the chart since a long time. So what are we doing now is basically just as Bitcoin retested it, retesting this zone here. If we can hold this zone, obviously we're gonna try to do as same as Bitcoin and try to come for these levels here. I mean, you guys are more aware of what is happening with the chain. I'm not that greatly an Ethereum fan. For me, it was a narrative, and yeah, a lot of people developed on it, but for me, it doesn't work as it should be. So I don't really know much about it. I buy ERC20 to make a quick flip, but that was it. I personally believe that this bull run we could see in Ethereum of 10 to 15, 20k, but yeah, I am not that great of a fan of it. If now before a bull run you need to pay $100 to make a transaction, it's really not reliable. It's not as it should be. I mean, if you want to base a financial system on a chain, on a technology, and it doesn't work even with 0.01% of loading capacity of the whole financial markets, this thing will break down. Okay, the technology isn't that great. What they have, what technology they have, which is great, is the Ethereum virtual machine and the consensus mechanism. It's great, but I mean, they promised all these lower gas fees and stuff. I pay higher gas fees now than during the bull run last year, 2 years ago. So I don't know. Can they fix it? It would be great. It would actually mean that they can go a lot further. But if I compare it to Solana, to ADA, to HBAR, and all these other contract blockchains, I mean, Hedera is something else, but they are a lot more efficient. And if we know that the banks are the liquidity, um, we are not just looking for the narrative of the people. If you want to look for the narrative of the people, you need to buy small caps. We are not strong enough. We don't have enough economic energy as retail investors to pump Ethereum and Bitcoin to all-time highs. It isn't just enough. We would need a third of the whole world coming into Bitcoin with their $10 and their 100 to 100,000 bucks to make it move, you know. So I believe or they can fix it, or I just don't see how this can take over the world. Simply as that. Okay, everyone developed on it. It had a great run last bull run, but I believe there will be projects and chains that are a lot better and will thrive and will outperform it. It just makes no sense for it to thrive as last bull run when people know their gas fees are not working. I mean, how do you want to buy or make a transaction on Ethereum and you want to buy a coffee with it in high volatile liquid markets with a lot of volume? The coffee will will cost you $100. Okay, so it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And imagine the trillions of dollars hitting the chain. It will just collapse. Okay, so even the founder of Ethereum tells his audience that the internet of value will not be Ethereum. Okay, even he is telling this. So for me personally, okay, it took a long time. It takes a long time to find the coins that really will be used in the system. Okay, if you want to go against the system, you buy Monero, you buy Pirate Coin, you buy all these coins. Okay, if you want not to pay taxes, you buy privacy coins. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, somewhere you need to provide something for your country too. So if it's just paying your taxes, do it. If you want to not pay taxes, just try to find a way legally to do it. And yes, so I'm not interested in finding something that is totally private and that nobody can see and smell and whatsoever. I'm just not interested in it. And I don't care who knows from the elites or the government what I have. I just don't care. I mean, for them, either way, it's dust. So what does it change? I want to know which institutions, which central banks are going to use, which technology are they going to use, which resolves their problems. If we resolve their problems, they are more open to give us something for it. Okay, if we bank the unbanked for now also can participate in the markets. Imagine just a stupid like walking, where you walk and you accumulate coins while walking. Imagine you live in Africa and you make 10 kilometers a day to go for work, and you have this application and access to the system, what that could mean for them. So people are just looking for their pockets. People are just looking, how much am I gonna make in this bull run? But they don't understand what the shift means and where we will go. And this is the biggest mistake, because you are just moonbagging. You are just moonbagging. You don't even know why the prices are going up right now. You're just telling everyone to buy because you bought, okay? And I don't hope you bought here or here, because there's a chance you're gonna get hurt for a few months. Okay? So now it's patience. Here, patience all along. and now where we pump, everyone comes in, okay? And that makes no sense. So if you didn't bought back here, you should not buy right now, okay? There are not a lot of levels you can buy. I mean, even I already told that in my other lives, like if you even buy now, if it does 100%, we are over 80k. So you can just flip actually your money to the all-time highs, okay? It's 68%. 68%. So you risk all this downside, okay, for this upside. So it's basically 1-to-1, which makes, in my opinion, no sense, okay? So this is what I mean. So let's see again at the dominance chart. So this is the chart that shows you the dominance from Bitcoin against the rest of the crypto market, okay? This is just Bitcoin against Ethereum, XRP, BNB, all the other coins, Solana, ADA, everyone, okay? So we are at 53% dominance. So Bitcoin alone makes out 53% of the whole cryptocurrency market, the whole market cap, okay? So the higher the dominance goes, the more fragile the altcoins become, because let's say Bitcoin pumps to new highs in the dominance chart. If we see a crash coming then in Bitcoin, that means that Bitcoin will take down all the altcoins with it, okay? So before Bitcoin crashes, we need to see an altcoin push, okay? We need to see altcoins catching up. If that happens and Bitcoin corrects, this would be the perfect moment, okay, to see, okay, altcoins are catching up, Bitcoin is making a retracement, so this means there is momentum, okay? If now Bitcoin crashes and altcoins are stagnant, they will crash, and they will crash harder than Bitcoin, okay? Which we already did. Like, a few coins did more than 50-20% correction in the time Bitcoin just did 10%, okay? So this is something you need to look for. Let's go check out the Forex markets. Oh. Oh my lord. Okay. It's trying to build momentum to the upside. How did we finish? Correct. Okay, we are good. Now we could trade this but it's not exactly sure when we're gonna reverse. Obviously we have all these beautiful imbalances, but we don't know actually which one will be the one. So for that to happen, let's say we have this high here, which is a key level, okay? 1.0879 is a key level you need to watch out for. Then we have this key level here. This is from the last day, sorry. It's a mess, I know. I will fix that. So here you can clearly see we had this high, equal highs, then we pushed through, we came back, we pushed up, we retested, and we made new highs. We tried to take out these highs, so if you still were short since then, you got taken out or you took profit somewhere between. Right now there's not a lot to say. We need to see what it wants to do here. So in lower time frames, you can say if we break this low here, we can see further down move. Let's see what is in that low. Is there an imbalance? Is there something interesting for us to look at? For now this is closed, okay. Let's see in the 1 minute, because sometimes you can't really see what's happening when you are in the 30-minute chart sometimes you say, oh, there's nothing, there's no liquidity, there's nothing else left, so that means this could be the bottom. And then you go into low time frames and you see there are actually fair value gaps, there are imbalances that are not perfectly closed yet. So before the markets really decide to go higher, they like to close these imbalances, or the market is intending to go higher to come back lower. So I would much rather see it come back down here, break these lows here, okay, take all that liquidity out, and then here trying to rebuild something in price action so that we can anticipate the next move, okay? Because what do you want to do with this, okay? Up, down, no, new lows, new highs. There's nothing to do. And yesterday was the biggest scam ever, okay? Yesterday they manipulated the markets as long not seen. The price for a long time went in the opposite direction of the news. So I was placed against the news or with the dollar because I saw something brewing, and I saw an imbalance that could potentially be closed. And as we know, America, like yesterday, I got stopped out in my GBP USD trade because of this candle, and that candle was actually the moment the news came out, okay? So the moment the news came, this was also a scenario like this, but there was a different projection. You had this wick up, so you knew there's something like, I don't know how to explain it, but here it was more obvious. Okay, there were people going short here in that imbalance, and that got wrecked obviously. But the same thing here, we were long on the dollar because I am very aware that it's highly possible we're gonna close this big imbalance here, okay? If we close that big imbalance, obviously we need a news or something that pushes us above these highs. So I thought yesterday this will be the news, but we were here and I was great in my trade. I was still break even, I was still at my entry, and then the news hit and it just boom, flushed down and pumped back up. And if you look in the chart here, this is what happened, okay? Here, I got stopped out at this point. So just before the news, the price pumped up. Here I was great in profit and I was like, here was my TP1. So this was the whole trade. So here was TP1, this white line. This is where I put my stops to 0 so I cannot lose anymore. And then TP2 is where I take something from the table, some profits, and here is actually the target. So what did we do? I entered a great position here at this wick. It reacted, it came back down, and then there was some choppy moves, and before the news it pumped up. Then the news hit, it just stopped me out a bit and flushed down. Here I was over 2,000 in profit, or let's say that here was TP2, and that would have been 2,000 bucks, okay? So then it came back up, but it came back down. I could have just let the trade run, okay? But it stopped me out, and I knew it would be more of a swing trade because the range was quite big, and I wanted to stop over this wick here. And as you see, in just 1 minute, I believe, it took it out. Like, look this wick, look this candle. It goes from here to here. So the news hit, it went down. I was like, great. And then it pumped back up in like 1 minute, 2 minutes. Stopped me out, came back down, flushed down, okay? So that was an unfortunate situation for us yesterday. Yeah, but that's how it is. This is why risk management is very important. If you never lose more than you can win, or if you win more than your average losers, you will be a winner in the market. It's just most people emotionally don't sustain it. Like they just, yeah, they they talk bad to themselves in their mind when something like this happens over and over again. So a losing streak often can change your whole mindset, and you need to find a way to come back from that. So that's why they always say trading is not that hard to learn. It's hard to learn who you are and how you react to a certain situation, because it's always your reaction that's going to make you lose or make money. Okay, in every market, money doesn't have any emotions, so you cannot play this game with emotions. Okay, that's the most important thing. No matter which markets, forex, futures markets, index markets, stock markets, crypto markets, it's the same all over. It's the same everywhere. Okay. Okay, I'm still live. Okay, I thought I would not be live anymore. So today I just want to take this all away. This makes me nervous. These were the setups. I won't. Come on. I just don't care. I don't care. Let's fucking go. Oh, looks clearer now. So, what did we have here? Basically, this whole move here is a reversal pattern. We are trying to create new highs. Okay, so this is a reversal pattern. As you see, we come from a big downtrend. Okay, we had a big pump, that news event. This is a huge pump, guys. I never saw that before in like that quick of a time. Okay, this is very, very high for currency. Let's say this pump was already high. That was 100 pips. Okay, this move here from the low of that week to the end of the day, 200 pips. Okay, this is a lot in the Euro USD. So now, to make it easy for me, there are two interesting points to look at as a range. So we have this high and we have this low. This low is not that important because it is all liquidity. This is where some people just got in with big money. So if we break that low here, we're gonna take that liquidity out. So we're gonna take that players out of the market. Okay, or they are already out of the market. You don't know, but there is liquidity. Okay, this is how we name this. So here now you see you have a weak high, weak low. This often means that the market doesn't really know where it wants to go next. In my opinion, we are going to try to reclaim that week here, but we have that week here to consider. And if we go to lower time frames, you can see clearly here is an imbalance. So it's not impossible the market to come back down here, flush all these lows out, because here was great volume. Okay, so here in that two candles was great volume. So let's see if we can take out these lows. Before we take out any lows or highs, I'm not interested in that pair anymore. So I wanted to show me something. I wanted to show me to break at least these moving averages that are trying to come down, and then we have these 2 points here. If we can just pump above that, this is where I try to find new long entries. Okay, because for now we don't know, does the market wants to break this low or does it want to break this high? Okay, and this is what we are waiting for. I'm not interested in trading this right now. It's a beautiful accumulation. Yes, we have the second shoulder. Yes, we have the break of structure. Yes, but with the move yesterday and with the dollar doing its thing, I mean, we still have this imbalance open and stuff. So I don't want to be in a trade when it comes down. This is the why I don't want to trade this right now. Oh shit. So for now we just need to be patient on that pair. Why is it not working? So for now it's just patience. Let's see on the 15-minute chart. So yeah, we have this box here. It's very easy, okay? I don't try to explain something difficult. It's very easy, okay? We have this high here, we have this low here. So we're gonna sweep one of these highs and go into another direction. We have the moving average here. So in the lower time frames, we already flipped the moving average yesterday with the news, which is a good sign because the news always is there to reinforce a narrative, okay? So until that news, we were bearish. Yesterday, we tried to break those structures when it came in, okay? It did some crappy moves, that's why it looks like that, okay? But overall, I believe we are due for an next pump. I don't know when it will happen, but we are gonna try to catch it. But for now, for me, there is a lot of liquidity here. There are imbalances, and I personally would not enter the trade even in this imbalance here because we are in a downwards trend. We didn't break yet the highs with candle close, so yeah. Now I can wish it turns here and I put my entry here, or I just wait for the confirmation. And this is what I will do personally. So for now I'm not interested here. That was a joke actually. I said to a friend yesterday, oh, we are at 1.618, we can also short this. We would have hit TP1, but that was a joke. I would never took that trade. So this was a trade. I had this range since here, but I didn't execute the trade. The idea was to execute it here. The idea was to execute it here, but at the end it never came into the zone. Okay, so I didn't place the trade. Okay, it was very quick and it didn't activate my trade. Okay, so then I said, as long as we don't break the highs of this range here, we actually could see the price come back down again to close that imbalance, which it did, but unfortunately I didn't place my trade. Okay, so that was my fault. I forgot about it because I was looking on other things, but this was a very great trade. Risky to take. Why? Because you always can see if you have sideways action. We have these lows here, and here we already had multiple touch points, but here we had just 2 touch points. So a third touch point to close it was not needed, but often the third touch point means make it or break it. Okay, so in that case, the third touch point, people knew, okay, if we're gonna break, we're gonna go lower, we're gonna take then this imbalance to short it. But what happened, and what the market is always doing, is taking out lows to go into the opposite direction. So what did they do here? They accumulated sell. So everybody was short. And then they just waited for the sweep of these lows, which here were short trades activated, limit orders. There were stops from the longs. So people that entered here and here had their stops break even or a little bit down below. Okay, so I mean, after all this time, you're most likely break even or a little bit in profit with your stops. So what happened here, it just flushed down, liquidated all the long positions, activated all the short positions that came in on the break of this low, and then just obliterated them. Then, as I said, I would have taken this imbalance. As you see, here came some short action in. Okay, so they were placed in that imbalance, but it weren't enough. So once back again at these lows, this also was a Fibonacci retracement level. here the 61.8, this was the next buying level, okay? But because we didn't broke this high, it was very hard to believe that we're gonna push up above these highs, okay? So this is why I didn't actually also took the trade, okay? It would have worked, but it would have gone against my principles or against my system, however you wanna say it. Like, for me it was not that great, okay? For me personally, I would have preferred to then take this one as a long trade. Because why do I say this? I say this because here clearly with the candle close, we broke these highs here, we broke the high here. So all these highs were broken to the upside, which shows us where the market wants to go, because it always had these attempts to go higher, to go higher, to go lower and lower, but it didn't. It was a sideways action. So now it flushed out the downside and it pumped to the upside. So in that moment you could have said, okay, we broke the highs, I want to trade the continuation of it, okay? So you could have placed the trade here. In that case, your entry would have been here. I always take the 50%, it depends. I often also actually take as entry the total close of an imbalance. But after this high volatile push, it would have been risky to not get taken in the trade. So I would have placed, for example, the stop here, which is 15-16 pips, and the target would have been here, okay? So now at the moment you would have been break even for sure. So let's say 1-to-1 would have been here, okay? So once you reach this level, which happened just after you got triggered, you set your stop to 0. So from now on, you cannot lose money anymore, okay? So TP2 got already hit 2 in that case here, okay? So this is where I take some money out of the markets, okay? Let's say you risk $1,000 to make 3,000, okay? So in that case, TP1 was $1,000. Once I am $1,000 into profit, I take my stop loss and put it to break even. Why? It is just because you never know what the market is doing, and you made 1-to-1 1,000 profit. So why giving it back and losing money again? So the first idea of trading is to not lose money and basically make money. So it is important to not lose it. What's up, brother? Sorry, I didn't look at the chat, man. Alex Wright, I am in contact with Matty G, yes. But it's more like writing back and forth every few months to know if he's right, if he's doing good. But I think he wrote me a message. I didn't look at it yet, but I think he asked to make a video again with me. So maybe I'm looking forward to that. Would be great, obviously, because he had a great community. They supported me a lot, and they really liked what I was doing. So he's also the reason why I have the followers on this channel. Bro, you need to work. Bro, you need to work there, no worries. Yeah, thank you, man, thank you. So I just finished this quick, and then we can talk about other things, but just to explain you. So I just put it back down where it was before, okay, so that you get it. We were waiting for the break of structure, okay? The same as in Euro USD, as I just mentioned. We are not trying to catch these moves in a sideways action. We are waiting for the confirmation. Here, the bears thought they had confirmation, and it was just a sweep of these lows, okay, and then it came back up. So this was the first moment you could have said, okay, this looks great. Okay, this is a high probability, because we also had the 200-day moving average above under the price, and before it was over the price. So it pushed down the price always when it touched it. Okay, once we broke out of it, we broke structure, we broke the highs of the consolidation. We just needed to wait for a pullback. Okay, and this pullback came here. We took the first imbalance. Here was no imbalance. We can make I will make a video on imbalances and fair value gaps and liquidity, so you will get it as I see it, so you will understand it better. Or maybe you already know what it is. That would be great. So in that case, we took this imbalance here, and directly after we hit TP1. TP1 allows us to go break even. So in this trade, we were directly almost, which time frame? 30 minutes, 1.5 hours after the entry, we would have been break even. Then it came back down and would have flushed us out. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about. So there are two ways. Now we got stopped out here, break even. So that is unfortunate, okay? But in other cases, which this was a liquidity sweep and we come down lower, you would have preserved your capital, okay? So this was unfortunate. But let's say this week would not have happened, okay? Then you would be at TP2. What do I do at TP2? At TP2, I take out at least a fourth or third of the position. I remember watching a video about XRP with Matty G a couple years ago. You were correct in your prediction. You're a smart person. Thank you, mate. Thank you. It's a long time I didn't came live on YouTube, but yeah, I basically thought I did all the predictions. I said Bitcoin is going to go down now, and I was like, why should I? It would be for money and for clicks and whatsoever, but I was more focused on other things. I had an e-com business, and the thing for me was like, how better can I tell people like the market is going down, and then I come next week and I tell you, oh, the next flush down is coming, and then the week after the same and the same. We had 11 weeks downwards momentum before we find the bottom, and I was like, it makes no sense. Then if you go to my channel, Alex, you will see that actually when we hit the bottom, I made my first lives again, you know? So I really try to come in the right moments. So, and it's not even me, it's something in me. I feel it. Like when something in the market is brewing up, I feel it. And this is where I have the need to go out and go make new lives to tell people about it. And I was not wrong. Like, I don't know if you can see my Twitter, but I always show this just to to make you understand that it's a long-term game. It's not what is happening tomorrow. What is, I mean, my title of the video, what is snags and stuff, because I know people are in fear right now. So what I want to do with this title is taking the fear of the people, bringing them in to my channel and showing them what is actually happening, and that it isn't that crazy what's happening right now to bring down their emotions. Because just look at this picture here. I don't know if it's clearly on the stream, but you can see that we have our cycles, as everyone knows. And I predicted on this on Sunday, 1st January 2023, that we bottomed out, okay? That we had our 426 days bear market, and so on and so on. So I write, your opinion doesn't matter, fractals do. Why did I write that? Because people all have these opinions of where the market is going. Everyone knows all the time everything. And I'm more like the guy, I try to find confluences and don't try to predict something that I don't have evidence for, okay? So why I predicted this low is just because every time the cycle restarts, the same thing happens over and over again, okay? So here in that case you can see 426 days bear market from bull run top to bottom, from top to bottom 365 days. So that bear market wasn't even that long, okay? But this bear market, which basically started even at this high here, this was just all the big guys and MicroStrategy buying back up the sellers, okay? Because they needed to input a lot of liquidity. This is why we did an extended high, okay? So, but from that high to the low, it was 426 days, 426 days, okay? Then the bull run from bottom to top, 1065 days. From bottom to top, 1066 days. From bottom to top. It's not trying to predict something. It's just saying, okay, it's doing the same thing all over again, all the time. Why would it be different this time? The only thing that can be different is the price volatility, not the time space, okay? The cycles will be the same, always, okay? Because they are just programmed like that. The market is just programmed like that. This is people moving the price, selling their coins, rescooping the price over 13, 14 years. So now the big players are coming in, which can change the price volatility, but not the cycle, okay? This is what I want to make people understand, because here it says the 1st December 2025. In my opinion, this is already a little bit too late, okay? Because here, okay, we topped out exactly at this high. But let's say you are in here and you have this 50% correction. Are you the guy that is gonna hold back up to the highs? I don't know. So I would say between, and this is not financial advice, this is just fractals, this is just taking days and replicate them. I am looking for July to October 2025 to take it all out for the next bear market. Stake it in stable coins for 5-6% a year, and then going full steam in back in the next bull run. So that's what I thought, Alex. He just knew the outcome. Very clever guy. Thank you, mate. Thank you. So then here on the October 24th, your opinion doesn't matter, your feelings make you poor. Like, I wanted to make a little joke sometimes. I'm a clown, you know. So yeah, I called the top and called the bottom, and now I just say the bull run is at the doorstep. So I mean, I already had the 43k mark here, which was the open of the imbalance that went through 44.5, and if we go now to the chart, you can clearly see where we went to, and we went exactly to 44.7. So we extended for over $200 of the prediction, okay? So I don't know what to tell you. This is nothing crazy happening. It's a dump of 10%. Can we come down? Obviously, we have all these imbalances down here. So do we need to close these imbalances? We don't need to, but there's a high chance that we will close them. Yes, so be prepared. Don't be scared to buy at 30k and at 27, 26k. Don't fear it. Just do it, okay? When everybody says crypto is gonna get banned and this and that, and the Congress is coming and bashing on Bitcoin, this is when they scoop up, okay? So don't forget that. In these three zones, you can put in your money, okay? You don't risk a lot. If, let's say, the worst case scenario is Bitcoin goes down and down and down, but it doesn't make sense, okay? So I believe there will more be like a correction, even we go higher and then we come back down, and then somewhere in this region here, I believe will be the bottom before the hyper cycle. So that's my opinion. As I said, it's not a financial advice. I personally will not buy Bitcoin because I just don't like it. I think it's somewhere a scam, but yeah, for people that like price appreciation, let's go for it. I mean, the narrative is on Bitcoin. Everybody talks about Bitcoin, not even knowing how we write Bitcoin and who created it and stuff. So yeah, let's say the max is even hope that nobody will find out who he really is. What's your Twitter or X? It's Metatron. I will put it back here. I don't have a lot of followers, mate. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe good content is less valuable. I don't know. But yeah, this is it. Metatron and at Stoile47. I need to change this because this is not good. Okay, let's see. Look, what is the... Oh, this is Trading Lord. This is a Luxembourgish guy. He made a lot of money. And I respect him for that. I really respect this guy. We had some back and forths a few years ago. But overall, the guy really know what he's talking about. He's not in that fear projection mindset. He really is in this for the third cycle now. And yeah, he just bought himself a new Ferrari. He's really happy. I assume he's really happy. I mean, if it's the first time you buy something like that for yourself, it's a great feeling. This is what we are all looking for, but it's not the most important thing in life. So it's great. Surely in 6 months he will say, yeah, it's a great car, but it's okay. Okay, so don't create more emotions in the bull run just because of all these material things. You see all these guys succeeding, it makes you weak. Okay, it makes you weak, and you don't want to be weak. You want to be strong. When the correction comes, you don't look at the charts. This is how we do it. Okay, if it didn't sell obviously and you want to buy more. But yes, is there any coin, any chart you want me to take a look at? Because there are so many, I just don't know what people like. I can show you my coins, but if you take a wrong decision in the coins I show you, I will be the bad person. So show me some coins, give me some tokens. I will do an analyze for you. And yes, if my mic is bad or something, it's my apologize. I need a new setup very quick, but it isn't there yet. So I'm gonna take something to drink and then I'm back. XRP. Let's go. Did you find my Twitter? Toray. Toray is also a very wise person. I learned about him, or I the first time I saw him on internet was because of AstroFX. And AstroFX, I don't know if you know, Amanet and Sean Lee. I followed them for a lot of years. He was basically in their team, then they separated and he created Innovation Markets. He's other than we are really in a bull, he is always bearish. As you see, feel a black swan brewing, and he does this all the time. Okay, I don't always am on the same side as he is with his opinions, but he always has a point. Like, he doesn't just say it for nothing. So this guy, you can follow him. He will give you a great insight into the markets if you are new. Yes, back to the charts, I would say. So XRP is frustrating me right now. So let's take, where's the other chart? Come on. XRP, USD. I think it's the USD on Bitstamp. No. Ah, okay. So it's this one. So yeah, it's hard to say. I think with XRP we are in we have extended cycles. Like, this whole move here is for me similar than this whole move here. Okay, why? Simply high, high, lower high, lower high, new low, new low, sideways action, sideways action. Okay, it's as simple as that. I don't know if you see it the same. That's why that's why also on the internet they are talking about this potential next move coming that we saw in 2017, which is not impossible. Okay, I would just not bet all your money on it. I have my targets. Like, as we thought last bull run we could have reached these highs, the all-time highs. I believe this bull run we're gonna get them. Yes, so for now, personally, this is a long accumulation we saw. What I like with this, what it did here, is it created a lot of liquidity in this zone. Okay, so it's very interesting to put the price back up because there are all these positions. Okay, the same thing here. So once we break again, let's say the 65-66 cents, there is basically just liquidity to the upside. What is interesting is that the moment we peaked out these highs here, we actually triggered all the shorts. Okay, everyone that was short here got triggered and we came back down, so all the shorts are out. Okay, they already played their game. So all the accumulated shorts over all the years, or the year we went from here to back up here, how long was it? Let's say from here to here, it took 469 days, okay, to reclaim that level. So people were waiting for this to dump it back down. Okay, so now we are out. Then don't forget, we have the unlockings of the escrow every month, so this also was causing downside pressure. This is also why we have these wicks here, I believe. Okay, this is what I believe, but I cannot really explain these liquidity wicks. These make no sense. Okay, we don't have them in any charts other than XRP. What is this? What is this? This is always when we have a beautiful move, they do this. You know why? They don't want you to be in long positions. This is what it looks like. Okay, other than that, I believe this liquidity can be taken before we go higher. Okay, so we can go down, take out this liquidity, and then we need to see if we can hold this line. I would really prefer it not going under this line. Okay, if we go under that line, we have a few imbalances coming in. Look, this one was interesting because we had this huge pump. This one got already closed here, as you can see. Once we closed it, we tried to go back up. Then we created this wick here. So I believe this whole move here is due to obviously Bitcoin plus um, the escrow plus this negative sentiment coming after such a dump, and the big guys obviously profiting from getting lower prices. But because I never saw a suppressed chart like this, okay, so the XRP chart is suppressed, okay, they try to maintain the prices low as long as they don't have what they want, okay. So what we will see is once it's ready, it's gonna go so fast that nobody will have the opportunity to be in. It's just like this move here, okay. To capitalize on this, let's say it does the same thing, okay, just like a pump like here, okay, it does the same thing, nothing crazy, okay, it does just the same thing from here. So until 120 you have no chance of buying XRP if this happens. So for me, I personally, other than next bear market, I will not buy more XRP, okay. I will take profit on XRP and buy some other coins that didn't had their run again yet. So this is what I speculate on. Maybe I will be wrong. I mean, you cannot be right all the time. I just try to in this bull run to take the most out of it, because in the last bull runs I told everyone to sell, but I didn't sell enough, okay. So I did the big mistake and I suffered a lot during the bear market, but I didn't sell one fucking coin, okay. So we just survived and we are back in bull territory again. So now it's gonna be 365 days full of joy, full of emotions, full of hate, full of misery, okay. Let's fucking go. So yeah, I don't really know what to tell you other than if we break these lows, we obviously are gonna contest this low here back again, okay. I don't think we're gonna go lower than that. Is it possible? Everything is possible. We need to watch Bitcoin, okay? We need to watch Bitcoin because XRP, it's gonna decouple, okay? But it's always the timing. How does Conor McGregor said one time? Speed beats power. No, how is it? Power, I think it's speed beats power, but precision beats speed, and timing beats precision. So it's always the timing that is the most important, okay. I don't know when it's gonna happen, obviously. I just know that it is a very long time. We have all these things on our side, the evidences, and it didn't happen yet. We are looking forward for it to happen. I mean, ISO is going to be activated and really launched for real. We have the central bank, all the central banks creating their pilot programs on CBDCs. I mean, CBDCs are inevitable, okay? The only thing we can do, yeah man, it was a hard time, but let's see, it will pay off in my opinion. So, what a ride, But I mean, we went through hell and back, so other than when we are in the same situation, when the capital is a lot higher, obviously the emotions are going to be the same. But I mean, we went through bullshit this cycle and last cycle, obviously. The first time I bought XRP, maybe you will laugh right now, but I bought XRP my first time here in 2018, okay? Not all my XRP, obviously. This was my first purchase of XRP. So since 2018, I'm waiting for an all-time high, okay? And it didn't happen. So it will. I mean, from the whole crypto charts, this is the most beautiful, because there's a saying on the Wall Street: the longer the base, the higher in space. Okay, so which base has a longer base than this one? Nobody. Okay, so even the most conservative targets, okay, I will give you one. The most conservative target of this bull run would be $6. Okay, this is for me the most conservative target, and this is just taking this underlying sequence that we are maybe activating once we break here. Okay, and then we have this one. So this one will be a lot higher. Okay, obviously. And yeah, let's see. I mean, $6 is somewhere where I take out, let's say, 2%, 2.5%, 5%. Once we hit $10, $10 to $15, because it's gonna go quick, I take out 30%. Once it goes to 20, 25, I take out another 30%. If it goes and it stays there, I take out the rest. This is what I will do, okay? Because I really don't believe that it's gonna be this cycle, it's going to pump to $100, and if it's gonna do that, it's gonna go that fast that you obviously are not going to get the time to sell at 3, 6, 12, you know, because it's going so fast that you actually just say, okay, I wait a little bit, because everything is in a bull run. Bitcoin is pumping, Ethereum is pumping, the whole market is euphoric. Why shouldn't I wait for a few days more? And this is why it's very hard, you know. It's hard to sell when you make a lot of profit and it's going up, 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 and it's hard to not sell if it's going down, down, down. So on the both sides, it's very difficult to do the right choice. As they say, when it's hard to sell, you should sell in a way of, when you see the market going up and up and up, and it's hard emotionally to sell because you think it's going to go higher, this is often the point you should sell, okay? And on the opposite side, instead of thinking, oh, my bags are decreasing, 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 just try to increase your stakes because it's falling down, and you have, let's say, you are working and you have some money coming in, you know. Yes, so yeah, for me it's all looking great. Like, we can see a correction. We obviously have this low here since a long time, which can be retested. Let's say connect all these wicks here together. Yeah, let's say the 33,000 would be a great price to consider, maybe to re-enter the markets. Other than that, if you are too late into Bitcoin, I mean, there are 20,000 coins. Why Bitcoin? You know, why Bitcoin? Bitcoin, as I said 100 times, if you manage to buy now and make it to all-time highs, you make 68%. Okay, so if you put $100,000 into Bitcoin, you make $68,000. So what do I prefer? XRP. Just investment wise, okay? It's just investment wise. I prefer XRP. Why? Okay, let's go to Coin Market. Yeah, CoinGecko is good too. So what I'm interested in is, what are these, let's say, 10 projects doing in the top 10, okay? So in this top 10 here, you have Avalanche. Oh, you have Dogecoin 11, but yeah, CoinMarketCap. Anyway, there are some websites, they put Solana on the third place over XRP and BNB, which makes no sense. This is all just to bring you into something, and they bring you into something over those websites because they are connected to the big guys, and the big guys want you to buy something. Why do you think they want you to buy something specific? Because they need exit liquidity, okay? I mean, FTX still has all these Solanas and stuff. Other than that, I prefer Solana over Ethereum, okay? This is the only thing with Solana is all these crashes the chain has, and the bugs, and if they fix that, it's a great chain. It's better than Ethereum, okay, in my opinion. So what I'm interested in is looking at, because people are looking at market caps. Market caps make no sense, okay? But let's say you're looking at market cap. let's say Bitcoin, $800 billion. Okay, you are investing in something that is almost $1 trillion in weight. Okay, then you have Ethereum, $261 billion, which is a third of Bitcoin. Okay, then you have Tether, which is almost 100 billion. BNB, I don't want really to talk about it, but it's the same opportunity. Okay, if they survive, you can make a 10x if BNB is going to the same market cap than Ethereum. There is already a 10x, okay? And the same thing is with XRP. We have all these narratives, we have all these things playing out, we have the networks that are connecting, we have all this evidence, we have all this utility, and it's still at $30 billion, okay? So let's say Bitcoin goes to $3 trillion. Do you think XRP is able to hit 800 billion? If it hits 800 billion, it's 25x from here, okay? Even 30x with the euphoria and stuff, you know? So I would much rather buy something that has more utility, less, more narrative even. I mean, even if it's a bad narrative, we have it. And since 3 years, people are spitting at our faces because of it, and yes, the day will come where we will laugh. This is what I believe. So even Solana, you buy Solana or Ethereum, obviously you buy Solana. You just need to pay attention because of these few narratives that are out there, like FTX that has a lot of Solana they need to dump on the markets and stuff. Other than that, it's great, okay? It's really great. I bought some Solana NFTs last cycle. I got wrecked on every single one of them, but Solana, the chain, is great. And by the way, I will not touch any NFTs anymore until there's access. Let's say, why should I buy an NFT if I don't get access to something that I don't get access to if I don't buy it? Like, why are the Bored Apes that, let's say, why do everyone knows about it, and why does these prices are so high? It's basically just because you have access to the highest elites or the highest professional athletes in the world. You have all these connections, you know. So when Bored Ape Yacht Club makes an event, maybe you will see Eminem, you will see Snoop Dogg, and you have the badge to access it. This is what has a lot of value. The rest is all trash, in my opinion. It's an URL link behind an image, and you don't even have the right of it to own it. This is the scam of the NFTs we had last cycle. Let's see how it's gonna develop, because actually cryptocurrency is an NFT. Like, for example, XRP. You cannot, like my XRP I have, you cannot duplicate them. So every single XRP I hold is its own NFT. Yes or no? Okay? So also cryptocurrencies are non-fungible tokens. So don't be confused in what NFTs really are, you know? And alone in an investment perspective, okay, if this, let's say XRP is taking over the liquidity, is going to be in the derivative markets, I don't know if you know that. Look, Ripple and BlackRock, and what is the name? ASDI. I don't know the English words sometimes. Okay, let's see. What does they say? Ripple joins BlackRock and JP Morgan. This was basically on the 5th August this year, okay? Nobody talks about it. Ripple joins BlackRock and JP Morgan as member of the leading trade association ISDA. Sorry. So, Ripple joins industry giants BlackRock and JP Morgan at the trade association ISDA, signaling a strategic move into derivatives and blockchain integration into TradeFi. Blah 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 blah. You can read this, okay? Then, what was the other thing? The other thing was, look, all the money just to show you, to illustrate how much money there is in the world, okay? And I just need to find the page. How much money really is in the world, and the percentage. Wait, I don't find the site. All of the money. There's a very good website where you can see all the money is no, it's not this site, I believe. No, come on. What I wanted to show you is that basically you will see that the derivative, let's say it's between 500 and 600 trillion dollars, okay, alone the derivative markets. Why do I don't find this website? Come on. All the money goes. I found it 2 days ago. Come on. No, this is a film. All the money, no, blah, blah, no, 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 no. All the money, no. No. These are all films, like what? I'm gonna get it, guys. I'm gonna get it. Boom! There it is. Let's fucking go. Oh my god. So, are you still there, guys? Did you find me? Great, man. Look. This is very important to understand, okay? This is basically all of the words money and markets in one visualization, okay? So here you can see the silver markets. This is from 2019, I believe, or something. But it didn't change as much. I mean, 43 billion, 44 billion, just silver markets, okay? Cryptocurrencies, obviously, 244 billion. This was like 2018. So it's around 2018. Then here you have military spending. You see the percentages of who is spending the most money when it comes to their military. Then US budget deficit, you see the trillions in deficit. So according to the Congressional Budget Office, rescue spending for COVID-19 will nearly be, so this was only for the COVID-19, okay? Then you have coins and banknotes from USA, Europe, others, China and Japan, okay? 6.6 trillion. So this is how big the foreign exchange markets are. There are 6.6 trillion in volume per day, okay? So 6.6 trillion, okay? Fed balance sheet, 7 trillion. Federal Reserve balance sheet, 7 trillion. Over 40% of this total has been added in 2020 alone, okay? Crazy, 2020 as of May. So it's from 2020, these stats, okay? Then you have billionaires. The world's billionaires all combined make together $8 trillion. 2,000, let's say 2,100 billionaires combined make $8 trillion. This is not even as big as BlackRock is, okay? Then you have gold. jewelry, gold, all combined together, you have $10 trillion in market cap. It's a little bit higher, I believe, right now, but it's not that great. I believe the world's gold, I think it's $30 trillion if I don't mistake. Then the Fortune 500 companies, I mean SPX, you know what that means. Yeah, all these prices together, 500 billion, 1 trillion, 1 trillion, 1 trillion and 1 trillion. So basically $5-6 trillion in the Fortune 500. Then we come to the stock market. You have the NYSE, you have Nasdaq, which are the technologies, and then you have all these exchanges and blah 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 blah, which you see combine a total of $90 trillion. Okay, $90 trillion just the stock market. Okay, we are at $1 trillion in the crypto market. Money supply. So the total value of the world's easily accessible money is $35 trillion. This includes the world's coins, banknotes, and checking deposits. Okay, 35 trillion is all the money in the world. Okay, physical 7%, they say. I believe it's even less. Broad money, yeah, of course, this is all together. The broad money is also the numbers on the screens. Let's say it like that. Let's say 100 trillion, okay? Then global debt. The global debt is huge, guys. Okay, 253 trillion dollars, which is 322% of the global GDP. That's crazy, okay? So, but what I want to come to is the derivative market. So you realize what Ripple is tapping into. Okay, ISDA, Trade Association. What does this mean? Into derivatives. Okay, strategic move into derivatives. So the vision of Ripple is even 10 times bigger than just being the internet of value. Okay, so it's 10 times bigger than just cross-border payments. Okay, I will show you why. Here you have global real estate over the world, $280 trillion. Let's say now it's 320 trillion. 300 trillion. Maybe not even. Then, yeah, residentials, commercials. Okay. Then, global wealth. According to Credit Suisse, all global wealth totals to $360 trillion. But look at this. Derivatives. Gross market value 11 trillion. National value 584 trillion. Low end estimate. What is a derivative? A derivative is a contract between two or more parties that derives its value from the performance of the underlying asset. So it's basically just a contract of something tangible. Let's say you could do it on gold, on real estate, whatsoever. So the derivative market is what Ripple is aiming for, you know. And these are all these $1 trillion laying in these accounts, not moving, no liquidity for it, and nothing. So this is what we are looking for. And this is where these 10,000 and all these predictions come from, you know. This is where it comes from. And now we have it. We have it here. October 5th. Ripple joins JP Morgan. Anyway, I hope you get it. If not, I don't know. So, Alex White, is this you? Great. Let's go. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe put some comments after to push the algorithm to wake people up again, because they don't realize I'm back on YouTube. So make people notice, and let's get this together for the bull run, mate. So liquidations, any update? Not really a lot changed, so the markets are not doing a lot. So are there any other projects that you want me to look at? Look, this is also, if you go back into my, I believe it was my first or second stream. Here I had a scalp trade in the 5-minute chart. So, and I believe, I don't remember exactly, but I believe I talked about this entry on the live, and as you see, I told people that this pattern here that I see, look, it's so easy sometimes. You just need to see it. You have this pattern here. Oh, my drawing is not beautiful, but, and then let's say the Christmas tree, okay? And if you go back, we had the same thing happening. I don't know where it was. Here. And then you had here the Christmas tree, okay? Just that, yeah, it's exactly the same pattern. It's just like, yeah, different time and different, you know? Look, it's all the same, okay? So, for right now, we hit some important imbalances here in the gold chart. It's really nasty what they did at the all-time highs. It's really, really, really nasty, but now obviously we know more about where we could go. Obviously we will go to all-time highs. The question now is how low can we go before we go to all-time high? But with if banks, so I would say, what if banks and institutions don't need to retail market XRP and just use Ripple's liquidity? Bro, Ripple's liquidity, what does that mean? You mean the escrow, the XRP in the escrow, which are 50 billion XRP. I showed you now a market of $500 trillion. And you think 50 billion XRP is good when it stays at $1? It isn't. Just 1 + 1. You will get it. I believe in you. Because last bull run, people said, yeah, but why don't they do their proper coin and copy XRP and stuff? You need to understand that those corporations as like Ripple or even the Ethereum Foundation and all these guys are in it since tens of years, or let's say 10 to 13 years, okay? So why did Facebook buy Snapchat? Why did Facebook buy WhatsApp? Why did Facebook buy Instagram? Because they were not able to scale their employees that high to create all these networks. So what do? They let flourish something and they buy it, okay? This is how it works in the world. So you just need to look who is sitting in the right rooms. If I see Brad Garlinghouse with Christine Lagarde, if I see Brad Garlinghouse with the president of the BIS, if I see Brad Garlinghouse with all these central bankers discussing together a project, what do you want me to believe? It's like they are not sitting there to make us believe something that is not happening. They don't have the time for such things, you know? And realize, you said liquidity from Ripple. Let's say you have the 6.6 trillion. This is just foreign exchange markets, 6.6 trillion. You have the derivative markets, which is 560 trillion. You have the gold market, which is between 10 and 30 trillion dollars. If you want to settle and provide liquidity for those markets, which is the internet of value, imagine 100 billion XRP is nothing. It's nothing, you know? It's really nothing. Okay, Bitcoin just has 20 million, Ethereum just has 140 million, 130 million, but they will never play that role. This is what you need to understand. They will never play that role. There are not enough coins. This is a store value, okay? It will be so expensive to buy Bitcoin at $1-2 million per coin that for the majority of people it doesn't make sense anymore to make any transaction in that manner. So we need something with a high overload working as well as if there is no liquidity. And this is why I believe in XRP. I had never a transaction not going through in 3 seconds. I had never to pay. It's like you don't even pay transaction fees on it. And this is what I want to see working if we need to base a system on a new chain. You cannot base a system on a new chain where you pay $100 for a transaction. It just makes no sense, okay? It just makes no sense. Even, let's say you put a $50, you want to buy an ERC20. You swap it. You want to buy for $50, let's say, or for $100. You need to pay $80 to $100 gas fee. So you pay double the price just to pay for your transaction. There is nobody in the world that will convince me that this is going to work for the long term. There is nobody in the world convincing me for that. This is why I stay with XRP. Okay? My biggest holdings are XRP, and this will change once we get what we are waiting for since 2000. Because I will sell and I will pivot into other things. But that doesn't mean that next bull run bottom, that next bear market bottom, I will not buy 3 times more than I have now. So I approach this like an investor in Google, Apple, and Facebook back in time. Warren Buffett says, I don't want my share prices of the things I buy to go up too quickly because I want to buy next year. I want to buy in 6 months. I want to buy in 3 months. You understand? So this is what they are doing with XRP. I don't want it to skyrocket yet because I want to buy next month, next week, in 3 weeks, in 3 months. That is what Ray over one crypto bellwether argues and says no XRP influencers will go on his show to prove that retail XRP is needed. Why? Retail XRP? Do you even know what you're talking about? Can you explain to me what is retail XRP? Because, people use words and things they don't even understand. So don't be confused, Of course it's needed. Retail XRP or not retail XRP, even if they have private chains or side chains running on the ledger, that doesn't mean that it will increase the share size, okay? And even if it would double the share size with the money that we are aiming to go into or take into, even 200 billion coins would not be a lot. What? Ripple dumps on markets every month. Yes, this is known since multiple cycles. But if they dump to the market, who is buying them back? Who is buying them back? Tell me, who is buying them back? They are buying 75 to 80% back. Who are they selling to? This is the questions you need to ask yourself. Not that they are releasing from the escrow. This is an algorithm. It's programmed like that. And it will be until 2300 or 2100 that we will see these escrow unlockings. But they rebuy those unlockings. Otherwise, XRP would be at 1 cent, my dear. Don't listen to people. No problem, no problem. It's just that, since 2018, people are saying the same things over and over and over and over and over again. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, you know exactly how bad XRP is talking down from all the communities in crypto, and everyone wants to shield their bags. Everyone wants to say my coin is the best one. Please give me a coin that is better and that is more interconnected than XRP and Ripple, and I will sell my XRP. Give it to me. I want it. I'm waiting for it. I'm looking for it. I'm searching for it since fucking years, okay? Give it to me. All you intelligent guys out there, give me that coin. Give me the coin that will be used by all the central banks. Give me the coin that makes all the pilot programs for Circle and stuff. Give me that project. Nobody knows which project it is because people don't know. The only thing they can say about XRP is it's a banker coin. Mate, who do you think created Bitcoin? Who do you think owns 95% of the Bitcoin supply? The bankers, guys. It's not we. It's not the retail. Not even Ethereum and Solana. These are all big banks. These are all the guys with big money. And we are here. We need to exit the rat race. This is total bullshit. This is the wrong mindset, okay? It's the wrong mindset. You need to understand how the world works. And they will take out their tanks before we beat them in this market. We already beat them. You saw what happened in 2020 and what they did to us. And this is because of this, okay? So we already had consequences of our actions. People just don't get it, okay? People don't get it. They were sweating. Their system is collapsing because we have an alternative. Now they are buying time. They are buying time as much as possible until the shift is there. If you are not prepared before the shift, it's going to be over. This is my opinion, okay? So I will never change his opinion until someone comes and gives me the better alternative. This is what I will stay with. So yeah, back to gold. Which I'm a little bit confused with gold is I don't really know if, because look, if I go into the weekly, preach my brother, preach. Jesus is on our side, I tell you. Look. So gold, let's say since 2011. Okay, 2011, it bottomed in 2015, it made a new all-time high 2020. So it always takes 4 to 5 years for gold to cycle, okay? In that case, why was this the top? I explained Fibonacci sequences in my last live. Oh no, I even cutted a video of 6 minutes to explain Fibonacci extensions and how they work and why they work, how they work, and you can look it for yourself. Look, here was the top, okay? We spiked, we overextended it a little bit, okay? But if you would have been a gold investor back at these prices in the bear market, you would have made on gold, let's say you sell here, you would have made 50% on gold, okay? Gold is a heavy market. So Fibonacci is really something you can rely on. You know why? Because everything is based on Fibonacci. I can show you even a video. Fibonacci sequence in nature. And this is why I love these tools, because I don't try to be better than anyone. It's just how nature creates itself. It's that easy. Like, we are humans. We are nothing special, okay? We have this ability to be conscious, more conscious than, for example, animals. But we are still animals, okay? With consciousness. So this is numbers. Numbers represent energy. Energy represents vibrations. Vibrations have a frequency. Frequency is energy. We are energy. And numbers represent energy. So this is why I use it. So you have all these theories of it works, it doesn't work. For me it works. It always has worked. And it made me call the tops, the bottoms, everything you want. I can even show you and show you why I saw the tops and the bottoms with these tools. And as you can see, I don't know if it's, yeah, I make it a little bit
The sequence of Fibonacci.
Sorry, I stopped talking. Just look, just watch the video.
The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci's sequence, and divide each with an arc, the patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21. The sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create this same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence or blueprint appears to be the trademark of a designer.
You see, this is why I use these tools, okay? Because they represent how we work in general, okay? Our psychology, everything. Because, let's say, look, the markets are existing since, let's say, over 300 years, okay? Not in the form we have them today, but nothing changed from then. The moves are the same, the cycles are the same, the patterns are the same, the price action is the same. Okay, so everything stays the same. And if everything stays the same, it already tells you that it has its own reflection of itself, like the Fibonacci sequence. And it's never going to change, you know? And this is why I use it. People say, oh, look, he's putting Fibonacci retracements there. Bro, do whatever you think is right for you, you know? But I have evidence that it's working, and I'm not going against the law of nature. This is what I do, okay? So this is why I use these tools, just to let you know why I use them, okay? So then I have, for all the haters of XRP, why do I like to play this video because it represents a little bit of what they are doing, you know? Why do I hold XRP? It's a guy that made a great video with evidences of what... It's a video of 2 minutes. You will enjoy it.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. who was the first ISO 20022 member focused
Yo,
on
what's
distributed
up,
ledger
guys? I see
technology.
people
Ripple,
coming in,
who's
going
partnered with
out,
over
coming
300
in, back
financial
again.
institutions, including Bank
What's
of
up,
America,
guys?
American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America. Ripple, who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve. Ripple, a former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division. Ripple, leading Australia's CBDC effort. Ripple, who hired a former Treasury of the United States. Ripple, 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board. Ripple, 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at SWIFT, former SWIFT board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team. Ripple, who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website. Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.
You decide, guys. You decide. You decide. The evidence is there. The World Economic documents, International Monetary Fund documents, everything is laying out there. But you can buy Shiba Inu if you want. It's your choice. Let's see. Let's see. So, Alex, well, is there any other coin you're invested in? Is there any other project that you like me to take a look over? I will do that. In the meantime, I'm just looking a little bit what's happening in the forex markets. So this is beautiful. Okay, this is beautiful. Let's see. So we had a falling wedge. A falling wedge is a pattern. Obviously, we saw it here that breaks out to 75 to 80% to the upside. Let's say there are 2 patterns. We have a falling wedge and we have the rising wedge. XTC or Cardano. I will do both for you, man. I will do both. Just quickly finishing that. You have falling wedge and rising wedge. And I really like these patterns because they play out all the time. I can give you an example on Bitcoin, okay? I will move everything. I will go to the weekly. And I prove you that this is working, okay? Falling wedges are working, not just one time. Look, we had this dump here, okay? So this is actually, when you go back to my channel, I think it's, you need to watch for the date. But look, it's just amazing. You're gonna be mind blown, okay? This is gonna help you in the next bull run. Look, you have a rising wedge here, okay? This means market exhaustion, okay? So let's say we go back to this moment here, okay? So in the whole bull run, we didn't had a rising wedge, okay? It were all like sideways patterns, some pullbacks and go up again, and this was more like if we go closer in smaller time frames, this was more like, oh yeah, this is also a wedge, you could say, but I would rather, because it are just weak, say this was a bull flag, okay? And if you take from the last low to the high and you put it here, you get your top. Easy, okay? Easy. Okay, so knowing that we have this falling wedge, okay? What is a falling wedge? What is a rising wedge? It shows that it wants to go higher but gets rejected. Wants to go higher but gets rejected. And once we break this, and this is what I actually told on the bull run top, that if we break this low, we could see a correction coming in. What happened? I mean, I go to 10x, so it goes faster. So here I told people that this is gonna be the sell area, okay, from 50% correction to 61.8, which is a golden number in the Fibonacci sequence. And then I told we could see another overextension to 78k. You can really go look it up. I really told these prices, okay? So I said, now we broke the lows. Here is basically the point to sell, okay? Let's see what happened. Okay? So, how low can this move go? We don't know. Fibonacci knows, okay? So, what does they tell us? Fibonacci says the move is exhausted here, okay? So, when a move is exhausted, theoretically, we can do a correction of the start of the sequence, because this is a sequence. You have a sequence is 0, A, B, C extension, okay? So once we break the low here, you have a really high chance of meeting those targets, which would have been just from here to here a 44% move. You would have doubled your crypto in that move, okay, if you would have sold. So then came the second push, because we had also these lows here where we pushed back higher. So we had confluence. We had the finish of the sequence, and let's say we take here the average of this pullback, and yes. So you see that there are confluences. So for me personally, this was the end of this push. And I personally anticipated a move to here or back to these levels or the highs, making a double top basically, because you never know what's gonna happen. But this would be the next interesting price to sell, okay, because we broke that highs here, that lows, we broke them. So this would be an interesting sell point. If you would have sold here your crypto, you would have missed on, let's say, 30% on Bitcoin. But you would have protected yourself on 70% down move. Okay, so sometimes not selling the top isn't that bad, you know. So what happened from here? Okay, we can go into the 4-hour chart to make it more clear. I take this away. So falling wedge, we said. What is a falling wedge? Let's let it play out. So now we have the collapse. We have the high. So this high is very important, okay? This is the first high. This is the second high. And we also have here, to confirm that it is a high, we have a head and shoulders, okay? Head and shoulders, which is a reversal pattern. So this is the second high. Now you take a trend line and you put it here, okay? So this is the trend line of the sideways action, okay? So let's let it play out. It touches again, it goes over, it goes under, boom, we fall down. So look, here you would have needed to adjust it a little bit, okay? But here you had your falling wedge. Oh wait, what do I do here? Wait, I need to go into the weekly or into the daily. So if you take here the first lows, this was capitulation, obviously. So if you take the first lows here, you had some kind of falling wedge, okay? Once this got broken, obviously 75% it's bullish that it's going to break to the upside. So before it broke to the upside, we squeezed the longs, okay? So every time the longs came in, boom, they got squeezed. The longs came in, boom, they got squeezed. And then we broke out to the upside. So here a lot of sells was triggered too. They got stopped out with that move, okay? So, okay, now, okay. So this was a liquidity sweep, as you see. Okay, it was a false breakout. So this was very hard to trade actually, okay? But it's still working. So we are retesting the wedge. Boom, explosion. Okay, so we did nothing else than just retest this wedge all over again and then pumping. Now we created this high. So that was basically to show you that falling wedges are working. Okay, so it wasn't the most beautiful one, but it was a good example. Okay, so we will have better ones. Let's, for example, this one was great. This was a rising wedge, falling wedge, and now we're gonna get like a falling wedge, but it's more like a rising channel, which is also a bearish pattern. Okay, and this would have indicated you the real bull run starting. Okay, look here. Look, this was a falling channel, and then it got they stopped out all the shorts, and then they took the liquidity here. So what will happen next? So we broke these lows. So that was already a sign of weakness. Okay, we broke that structure here. We broke the structure here and here. Double structure broken. Not yet this one, but now where we broke this one, the next ones are the most important. So the next target is here. Okay, and this was the rising. It was not beautiful, but it was a rising channel. Okay, or rising wedge, however you want to take it. Sometimes it's hard to say which one it is. So very bearish, this one. We break lows, we break multiple structures, and then we put in a rising wedge. Okay, so next bearish target, next bearish pattern. Boom, we break the lows. Okay, so this is when you should have waited for an entry. Okay, to short. So now we broke structure on the weekly here. These lows, these were our base for a long time. Okay, so most of the bears, if they are smart in a daily time frame, they would have tried to sell here or here. Let's say here or here. It never got you to that point, you know. So this is capitulation. I believe from here to here it was the lunar crash. So you can see rising wedge, falling wedge, rising wedge. And then the last wedge I will show you is the bear market bottom. This was a wedge too. Okay. And then I will go to Cardano and XDC. Just to make you realize that, because it's so important, it's so easy to recognize these patterns, you know. Look, we have this capitulation from Luna. By the way, this capitulation was from FTX, okay? This capitulation was from Luna. And I was like, okay, Luna or FTX was in the public eye bigger than Luna. I mean, the market cap was a little bit less, I believe, than Luna. But look, the market were overexhausted. Like, the capitulation, this one already made a lot of people bleed, you know. So I saw this move and I was like, okay, FTX is crashing and it's only going down 25-26%. Like, that's not enough, you know. That maybe means this is the bottom, you know. And then I took like these two highs. Okay, I don't know if it was these highs. Okay, these highs, let's say these lows. Okay, so you already start to have a falling wedge. Okay, but it will be more clear in a few candles that it is a wedge. Okay, boom, clearly, boom, breaking to the upside, break of structure. Okay, this is where you should have aped into Bitcoin, here and here. Okay, on the break of this. But the problem is it never gave us a retest. Okay, so the next thing to break was this high. Okay, I just take this away. So just to show you, wedges are working. Okay, falling wedge, boom, breakout to the upside. Just before, because here it wasn't the falling wedge yet. Here it was some kind of, I don't know, triangle whatsoever. So it wasn't really clear. Then the crash got us a falling wedge, sideways action, and then pump. This is how I use them. Okay, easy. It's nothing hard to understand. Okay, so here, what did we do? Now I know it. I would have not have know it the moment before it happened, because we had all these imbalances, and it just took the imbalance, closed the imbalance from the candle we broke out of structure. Okay, so that was that. This is also why on the 1st and 13th, as you see on my Twitter account, the 13th I posted it, we were here. I called the bottom here. Okay, and then here in December, I thought my family, because they asked me, do you still own crypto and stuff? Where was it? The 25th. So here, around that price, my family was like, yeah, but what if we go to 10K, to 7K? I fear and stuff. And I said, listen, don't put everything in at once. If you want to put in $10,000, just start buying maybe for $3,000 or $4,000. If we drop down to 11, 10K, you scoop up more and more and more until it goes up. This is the right thing to do. You don't know where it goes, and anticipating something you don't understand makes no sense anyway. So I said dollar cost average. They had fear, they didn't do it. So the guy I was talking with could easily buy 1 Bitcoin. So he would have made, let's say, $30 to $35,000 in what? In 87 days. So sometimes you cannot help people if they don't want, or if they don't believe in you. And this is why I'm so excited that I'm in for a long time, because people will realize over a certain period of time the awareness of different people, that there are people that are shilling their bags, that have a whole analyst team behind them before they start their live stream, and they can be wrong too. We are doing everything I do by myself. Okay, everything I do, everything I see, everything I analyze, I do it by myself. There is nobody telling me whatsoever. Okay, so that's the big difference. So quick to XDC. I have different watch lists because there were too many coins. I already I already deleted 2/3 of my cryptos that were in my watch list. So yeah, this one is a coin I'm looking into. Yeah, just launched, a lot too high. I want this to come down, but I believe it's a good project. Big time. If you like gaming, look into it. Don't buy now at the highs. It can go higher, yes. You lose the move, yes, but it's better than going in now and losing 60% of your money. So XDC, here it is. Take everything away. Let's start from scratch. So easy. We broke structure, yes. We broke structure. We had our first formation here, with which we broke the first structure here. So you always have these very important, in this case, support level. Once this gets broken, this is a very important high. This is the last time the bulls try to push it before they collapse down. Okay, so this was a very important imbalance which we needed to reach. Okay, which we did here, and then you saw at the close of the imbalance, boom, we rejected down. Okay, so this was a move of 15%, nothing great, nothing special. But here you can see we had the first impulse breaking this high. Okay, this signaled a reversal from bear trend to bull trend. You don't need to wait for new all-time highs to realize we are switching, okay? We are switching. We are breaking key levels here, okay? Which would you give you the opportunity to take the next buy zone and go in, you know? If you buy here or here or here, I mean, yeah, sometimes you buy too late, too early, whatsoever. But this whole range here would have been the time to accumulate. Okay, so what is happening right now? We broke the next structure. We closed that imbalance here. Okay, this is again a whole imbalance. This is where the price was not traded properly. Okay, because of the big squeeze of a few people. Okay, so these are the levels I'm looking for when I do a trade. So where can XDC come? We have an imbalance here. Okay. We have that imbalance. We already swept in. So what I see is a potential sharp move to these levels and then go back up. Depends also on what Bitcoin is doing, okay? So, I mean, with the developments with Corda and R3 and XRP and all these developments they are doing, great project for the system, okay? Great project. I just realized I have no music anymore. Let's go fix that. I just always put these long yes, because I don't want to bother every time changing the sound. A little bit cozier. So let's take this one away and let's take this one away because they're already closed. So this one is closed. The imbalance is closed. Okay, the last imbalance we have right now in this chart is just here. Okay, here there are no imbalances anymore, as you see. This one was one, and you take always the wick low from the candle before and the next candle high. Okay, so here you see they tried to close the imbalance, but it didn't work and they got flushed down. So there were two imbalances just next to each other. Okay, this is why we pound as hard to just close these both. Okay, so now what do I see again? Now we have these extension tools also based on Fibonacci numbers that tell us where a price action could have its potential move to. Okay, so our next move is this wick here. Okay, this is where the sequence ends. So now we are in a BC correction. So we have 0, 1, B, C. This is the target. And now we have a BC correction. You have the 0, you have the A, you have the B, and you have the C. Okay? So this is how the market moves, you know? So now knowing that this is our target, the 200 moving average, the 200 extension is just an overextension. Like this is the golden ratio. Always look for the 1.618 or the 0.618. These are the golden ratio numbers in the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so these are always the prices I look for. Some people say, but he takes trend-based Fib extension to put to calculate an up move, and this is for ABC corrections. Man, it's not just for ABC corrections. It's just a tool that shows you where is a potential move coming next and where is the targets, where is the maximum potential it can go, and this is what it is. Okay, so in crypto I often experience, if we are in a hyper momentum run, we also can hit this 2.618. okay, but let's say this is a target during the bull. Okay, this will play out during the bull. So the lower we come right now, the stronger the move will be to the upside, to be honest. Like if we break, for example, let's say we take this and we want to see where does we retrace back again. So we have this big imbalance that I showed you, and we have the buy zone here. So this is a very strong level to break to the downside. It's not going to happen as quick as that, you know. So what I believe is that we could close the imbalance here of that wick, retest this wick here, okay? We could just retest that wick here, okay? So look out for that. Otherwise, I mean, to the upside, we know it can go very high, this bull run, because it's also one of the tokens that is listed in the ISO protocols and stuff. So when all these projects go live, they will see a tremendous price increase, okay? Very quick, okay? Because they basically did nothing all these years, okay? So they are just waiting for it to come, okay? So watch out for the 4.1, 4.2 cents to 4 cents to maybe 3.5, okay? This is the level you want to accumulate. I hope this helps you a little bit. Then ADA. From the dead. They came back from the dead. Crazy. Let's see. Let's take everything away. This would have been a lot better if we wouldn't have had this liquidity sweep, because if we wouldn't have had this liquidity sweep, I'd even went higher. But actually the target was here, but that was, let's say, the all-time high, so people pushed it even higher. But from here, look, there wasn't even a sequence, okay? This was just pure downwards momentum and nobody believing in it anymore, okay? And then here, what do we see? We see a falling wedge. Okay, falling wedge, breakout, obviously. Suck, suck, easy money. It's not the most beautiful one, but it is one. So let's go with that. Okay, so along. You had no opportunity of selling your coins if you didn't sold in that pump here or here around here. If you didn't sold there, Jesus Christ. Let's see, I got some messages from people. So okay, let's see. Okay, this imbalance, so, okay. Here will be some short momentum hitting the market. Look at this impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. 8 weeks of bullish price action. Okay, so we need at least this imbalance, a sweep into it. Let's say we print another bullish candle, we overextend, we're gonna try to hit this wick here, we fail, we come back down, and then we look for another pump. Okay, I mean, the worst case that could happen is you are waiting for these prices and it's just going to go up. But again, you buy here to the all-time highs, you have 400%, a lot better than Bitcoin, and you have 63% downside. Okay, this is what you're looking for. So the earlier you are into it, the better you are protected to the downside. That's all. In these moments right now, we are just trying to survive. Okay, we are trying to capitalize a little bit, to bring our portfolios higher in the first third of the bull run, which we did, but it's not the goal. The goal is to stay in until the hyperbolic phase and then to sell, because this is the hardest moment to sell, when we go up very high very quick. Okay, look at this pump here. Where do you sell? Tell me, where do you sell? It's so hard to sell. Okay, So always take some chunks out of the market, because when we hit the top and you see this coming, imagine you get out here, okay, and you went in, let's say here, okay, you did a 15x. Let's say you put in, I don't know, 10k, you make 150k, okay, 150k. These 150k you take out of the market and you put them in back here, okay. First target 150k, you are now at 200, 300, $310,000, and you started here. If you don't take profits, maybe you saw your, I don't know, your $500,000, $600,000 here, but you didn't sell, okay. So maybe you sold here, congratulations. But I mean, even showing you taking profits along the way, taking your money out when you, I mean, we didn't hit here the all-time high yet. So let's say you could have waited for the all-time high and take some profits out whatsoever, you know. Because here, that was the hyperbolic phase where everybody aped into it. It did 300% even more, you know. But at the end of the game, we want to make money. So you could have even sold here and could have bought, let's say, at the best case, 65% deeper. With 10 times your money, you went in here, okay? And that in 3 years. So we need to stay humble. We need to stay also a little bit sometimes conservative and know when to take the chips off the table. Because I did this wrong for over 3 cycles. So don't be like me. Don't be like me. Don't be like me, guys. It's very hard if you're in that situation, and not a lot of people will get it. Like, most of people give up. And I mean, since a long time. I made a lot of money, I lost a lot of money. So no matter how much you make in a bull run, if you don't take the money out, it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone. You need to understand that a 90% correction eradicates a 10x. So you make a 10x, you don't sell, you're gonna lose everything again. Okay? So if it corrects 80%, you still have 20% profit where you went in. Great. This is what happened to me. I was even a little bit higher. I was almost doubled where I invested in, you know. I was doubled the price where I invested the first time, but I was so frustrated that I didn't took profits, even telling everyone to sell because we are at the top, you know. So yeah, bro, I mean, those experiences are which bring us to the point to never do it again. So the more it hurts, the more you will be vigilant of not doing it again. The more it hurts, the more you are able to take profits, because you say, I don't want this again. I don't give a shit if it's going 200% higher. I want that money out, you know. And that's the biggest thing people don't do in these markets, because everyone makes money unrealized in the bull run. Everyone. It's really the minority that doesn't make money in a bull run. But it's also the minority that have realized profits in the bull run, because they take money out. Okay, as long as you don't take money out, you didn't make a cent. Okay, no matter how high your portfolio looks like. This is the one big rule I learned last bull run. Your unrealized profits mean nothing. So yeah, why am I at Algorand? Can Cardano break all-time highs? I believe yes. I believe it can. Even if you bought down here and it's not going to break all-time highs, you had a 10x. In which market today you can make a 10x? It's not that easy, you know. So Be grateful for everything you have, for everything you get in this market, and don't be greedy, because the conservativeness of crypto market is greediness. So you already have these amazing pumps, these amazing moves, and the 10x is a lot, you know. If you come once at a point where you couldn't put 100k into the market and it does a 10x, you made your first million. So don't look at the 10x as it would be nothing, you know, because there's a saying, if you double 10 times $1,000, you make $1 million. So try more to focus on the flip of something than trying to make 100x. Look, you take $1,000. I hope you will see this. I will wait for the stream to show me if you can see it. One second. No, you can't see it. But if you take your calculator and you put in 1,000 and you multiply it 10 times by itself, you are at $1.2 million. So over your period, over your lifetime, try to flip something 10 times, okay? Instead of trying to take 100x, try to flip something 10 times. If you flip $10,000 10 times in 30 years, you made $10 million, okay? Don't underestimate the power of how we say that in English, amplification, like I don't know, I don't remember the word, but yes, flipping things over a long period of time can make you a lot of money, and chasing these 100x will make you lose a lot of money. This is what I wanted to come to. It gives you an amplification. Let's say from 10,000 you double, you make 20,000, you make 10k. But if you double this 20,000, you make 40,000, and if you double these 40,000, you make 80, 160, 3,000, 320k, 640k, 1.3 million. It is that easy. So you are 10 flips away from 1,000 to 1 million. And we take the wrong approach, because we try to find the next 30x, the next 50x. Yeah, compound, exactly. Thank you, man. The compound effect. I'm sorry, man. I learned English by myself from personal development, from YouTube, from books. So all you hear is me trying to get better in the language every day. It's my 5th video, so I need some time. But yeah, I'm from Luxembourg, if people want to know. Luxembourg is a very, very, very small country, but very rich. It's very hard to have a sustainable living in Luxembourg, because I don't know the prices of real estate is in your location, but I can give you an example. If you want to buy an apartment here of 50 to 80 square meters, you're at $600,000-700,000, not even in a city. It's out of the city, in small villages. So in Luxembourg, if you don't have a big salary, let's say 10, 20, 25k per month, it's very hard for yourself to create a life from scratch, making credits, because yeah, the bank wants one third of the credit you have on your side. So let's say you want to make a credit of 300k at the bank, you need at least 100k on the side. So here in Luxembourg, nobody has that. The minority of the people have that money on the side. I mean, 100k is a lot of money. If you come into the crypto markets, they make 100k seem like nothing. But a lot of people would love to have that money, you know? So it's very hard here to create a living. It's more a security-based system in which you are very safe if you play the rules, and that's it. You know, people come here to have a safe life. Here the criminal rate is very low. people fear even their own shadow, so you can walk freely here and nobody will do you something to you. So yeah, it's a complying and fearful society here, but you have some beneficials out of that too. So that's where I come from, and I don't get it, so I try my best to create some things and be more in an American mindset. This is why I do all these things. This is why I do YouTube. This is why I created an e-com business. This is why I do trading. I started when I was 17. I started with network companies selling Vema cans to people. I did 5 or 7 different companies trying to affiliate and doing network marketing, and it showed me the potential of myself. It showed me the potential of where you can go in this life if you see differently, and this is why I stepped into the game I stepped into, and I will not stop until I am where I want to be. Yes. So where do I see it go other than, let's say, yes, so pay attention in this level here between 90 and 70 cents. I mean, also it really depends on what will happen from the big guys with Bitcoin. Look, it's or we dump Bitcoin from here, the altcoins don't have an alt season, and we're gonna go have a harsh correction for every altcoin out there, okay? The other thing is we're gonna get an alt season right now, so the profits from Bitcoin will rotate into altcoins. So the altcoins will pump, okay? Thank you, man. You too. Let's go together. That's why I create this YouTube channel. I always was in the mindset of, even if you win but you are alone, it makes no sense. It has no purpose. I want to win with a community. I want to I don't know. One of my visions is just going in a country where they see taking a hotel, booking some rooms for the community and taking them in, doing research, doing things together, growing together, and make a lot of money. This is what I want to do, and this is also why I do YouTube channel, to make people realize that I exist. Because if you don't show yourself, nobody knows you exist, okay? So that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for my own benefit, because I have no benefit. I have, like, on this stream, like 30 views. Yes, if people realize I'm back on live streams I had before, we had 100, 200, 300 views with just 1,000 followers. I didn't do something for 2 years, so that was my own fault. And yeah, now I had the feeling to come back, because I see these people that see the price going up, and I was like, no, you need to tell people the risk which is behind it right now, because as I showed you this morning is which was it, open interest, blah 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 blah. I don't know where this was. Liquidation, heat map, here. So as I showed before on the bubble index chart, it are not retail that pushed the market up. You can see here it was retail. Look, the bubble index started, so the price was higher as it was expected to be, or the real value of it. So once you see this chart getting green, okay, you know that there is price discovery. So people don't know where the price of Bitcoin is going to go after it breaks an all-time high. This means there is price discovery, okay? And this is also what this bubble index shows you. Once we break the highs, the bubble index goes higher, 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 and they say a bubble will burst eventually and come down. Where do we come down? We come to back to the real price of the value of the coin. This is a bear market. So a bubble is none other than euphoria, a lot of people coming into the markets. Here you can see the Bitcoin Google Trends. So people starting from this point on, from the recovering of the COVID crash, people started to Google back again over Bitcoin because they wanted to buy or something, you know. So you always see when the Google Trends go up, you know in real time people are interested in Bitcoin. Okay, so when people are more interested in Bitcoin, obviously there is more money coming in. So but this time, and this is why I can't really give you an answer, there is a real possibility that we just go higher. Okay, but that doesn't mean you should buy. That means you should find coins that didn't got that high yet. Okay, as for example XRP, as for example Algorand, HBAR, all these beautiful utility tokens, instead of buying Bitcoin at 40k. Okay, so with what I'm really confused about is just here, since we got up, like since we broke the wedge as I showed you before, the bubble index got negative. So people are not even looking for Bitcoin on Google. But the price is going up. Who do you think is buying this? It's not retail. You can clearly see it's not retail, okay? So why should they crash the market right now if there's no retail coming in? What I mean by a crash is a 50% correction, which would bring us to 20k again, you know? So a correction for me would mean we correct this move here back to, let's say, 30k, or even, let's say, worst case 25k, 27k. But a crash or collapse, we are talking about a 20k Bitcoin, okay? And then coming back up, and that would be a move like in 2020. And actually people think this is just a corona crash, but it actually was the pivot of the Fed. Okay, the Fed pivot from high interest rates to no interest rate, or interest rates decrease. So if the interest rates decrease, the market gets a supply shock. And because of that, and because of the interest rates decreasing or stagflating, the problem is the dollar is gaining in value in that time. Why? Because they are not printing more money, and they are not incentivizing you to, if you borrow USD, to pay more interest on it. So it's all about that. It's about what you borrow and how many interest you pay on it. So the more you borrow, the more interest you need to pay. So imagine you bought a real estate in 2018, and you had a certain type of interest rate in flexible. Here in Europe or in Luxembourg, we talk about fixed or flexible. So you have the choice to have fixed interest rates over the 30 years of paying your credit down, or you have the choice to be flexible. So flexible, you pay less at a certain time, but once the interest rates go up, your interest rates go up too. And the fixed price is higher at the average, but goes higher when we have these situations like this. Okay, so this is why the dollar is gaining in value, because people have the same type of credit they paid off before, but they need to pay more. So more people pay, more money is coming in. Okay, so more money is coming in, more dollar is traded, more money comes in, the value increases. When does the value decreases? The value decreases when they start to put on the printer again. Okay, and what do we saw now? We saw printing and interest rates high. So this holds the price of the Dixie some kind of stable. Okay, but when the pivot comes, and I don't know when it comes, we should see some type of crash. So, but because of the strange times we are in with the war and all this shift that's going to happen and stuff, I don't really know how it's going to play out. But 80 to 90%, if the Fed is going to pivot, the Dow Jones, the SPX, the Nasdaq, everything is going to crash. Okay, as maybe not as hard as in 2020, or even harder, because we have more debt, we have more problems, we have more people dumping their 20-year yields, 30-year yields which shows that people are not confident anymore in the dollar index. So people are dumping their bonds of the of the US government, because they believe that a crash in the dollar can come. So are we just preparing for all this? Let's see how it plays out. We are in very, very confusing times right now, and this is why you need to be very strong no matter what happens, because otherwise you will not make it. You will not make it in that market, because I believe the biggest bull run ever is in front of us. All these bull runs we saw before was speculation bull runs, okay? We have speculation bull runs and we have utility bull runs. So for now, all these bull runs here were speculation, okay? People speculating on an adoption of Bitcoin, okay? This wasn't yet the institutions aping in with billions and billions of dollars, okay? So for me personally, we could see the last big hyper cycle before we're gonna get a long time of sideways action, okay? This is one of the scenarios I'm looking for too, because we have the fifth top, so we can have now an hyperbolic overextension, and then for a very long time having a, let's say if we top here, it's just like, yes, let's say we top here in June 2015, 25, we could see an extended bear market, okay, which is not something you should aim for, but consider it, you know. And as long as they don't say Bitcoin is the best investment you can do in the mainstream media, you can stay in your investments. If tomorrow they talk everywhere about Bitcoin and your cousin's best friends come to you and say, yes, I bought Solana and Bitcoin and it's going to the moon, we are going to 1 million, just sell everything, because this is what I did wrong last time. People shitted on my face for 3 years when I told them, buy crypto, this is gonna change your life. Nobody listened to me. Everybody laughed about me and saying, you think you're gonna make millions with that? Bro, why thinking about millions if we can double, 10x your money? It's just an opportunity you will not get anymore in your whole life. So why not participating in it, you know? Putting something in you don't mind to lose. And they did that eventually, but it was at the top of the market. So I did even say to one friend, I said, now where you're all coming to me and asking if Dogecoin is good, if this is and that is good, I said basically now I should sell. And if I would have sold at that exact moment, I would have sold XRP at I believe it was 46 or 56 cents, 146. So almost at the top. So always pay attention of what people are thinking and saying, okay? For now, I see everyone is again saying Bitcoin is going to go down, Bitcoin is going to 20k, Bitcoin is this. As long as you see people saying this, you can be sure that the majority is putting in shorts, because they want the price to go down. So where's the most liquidity? The most liquidity is in the short. So how to liquidate the shorts? You pump the price higher. Then considering this chart here, where we have negative bubble index with nobody looking for Bitcoin on Google, which means the whole pumps we had here was institutions. So now you can make your own image and say, okay, what would be the most realistic? For me, the most realistic would be a pullback, a correction until this price is here, and then push it back up, or just going straight back. Because we could see a candle like this one here, just closing this one, for example, here or here, and just pushing even higher, okay? We need to wait for the masses to come in to see a big pullback. We have the narrative of the ETF. ETF was the biggest narrative since the existence of Bitcoin, okay? So now the big guys are waiting for the ETF to hit the market, but you don't need to forget that institutions like Grayscale, Fidelity and all those, they are allowed to sell their Bitcoin once the ETF approved, so don't forget that, okay? So buy the rumor, sell the news. Don't forget that event, okay? Because when the ETF is coming out, we're gonna have a retracement, okay? We're gonna get a correction. The question is it gonna be a correction or collapse, okay? If it's gonna be a collapse, I mean, it's not impossible to come to 20k back then. But these are all, like I said, now I gave you the conservative targets and I give you the worst case targets, okay? So this is what you want to look for. I cannot tell you Bitcoin is going to 31k and never going below. You need to watch the market. You need to be aware of where the market could go. And once you break key structures, it gives you the confirmation that you go higher or go lower. And this is what people don't tell you on the internet. They are just trying to predict, to make predictions for you that you say, oh, this guy is amazing. But this is not how it works. Behind the scenes, they know exactly that there is break of structure. They know exactly what they are doing, but they do not tell you that. And that's a big difference, okay? That's the big difference. I mean, in my last live, I told you that Bitcoin is in that imbalance. I told people here, we were live at the first crash, okay? We were live at this crash, okay? A lot of longs have been liquidated here, a lot of longs, and we had the most leveraged position open in this range here, okay? So from that last push, all the leverage positions were open and they got flushed out here. So now where all the bulls are flushed out in leverage position and we have a leverage reset, we don't have it yet. We have still a lot of leverage positions open from these moves here, okay? Especially from this whole, whatever this is, there are a lot of positions that can be still liquidated if we go down here. So I believe this 30k here is very important because we flush out all these leverage positions, okay? This is what we need to look for. So once we see here, because I can already see a potential wedge create itself, okay? So we just need a new low. If we see a new low here, we have a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern. I can already see it before it happens, okay? It's as easy as that, okay? Don't try to overthink. Once we have this pattern here, or even not even that low, the problem with this wedge is the flush down. We don't take this week in consideration. Let's start here. So we need to wait for new lows to confirm that this is a wedge, and then we need a break here. So we had 1, 2, 3 touch points. Now it's the fourth. If we're gonna reject, we're gonna be here for some time and then break to the up or to the downside, okay? And in the case of a falling wedge, if we now break the lows here, okay, we're gonna have a falling wedge, and a falling wedge is a bullish pattern. So we need to be patient for a little bit now to see what the price wants to do. Okay, this is all I can tell you on the short term right now. There's not a lot to say. We are in a bullish trend. We already went through the first third of the bull run. If you don't realize that, I mean, look, we are not far away from the highs, and yes, that was it for Bitcoin. I'm just going to look a little bit what's happening in the Forex market. I was waiting for this for quite some time. From the moment we broke these lows here and we flushed down, which day was that? Yeah, since the 6th, 7th December, I'm waiting for it to pull back at this zone. But now we are trying to break structure and to create a reversal pattern. But still, I believe we need to come back down to then break to the upside and go higher. The yen is very weak. It had its look, if you go on a daily, you see how weak the yen really is, you know. Look, this is the euro versus the yen. So we have since April 2020, we have a yen weakening, okay? So this dump here just actually was a flush of these leverage positions, the retests of the MAs and stuff. So we need to consider that maybe we're gonna get this liquidity here, which is still in play. Here this liquidity, and here, okay? This one. So that would be for me the low targets of the US dollar JPY, and that's also what I target. As you see, my targets are the liquidity lows here, okay? 1 to 3, it's not even the 1 to 3, I always aim for 1 to 3, it would be a liquidity sweep here, okay? So that's where my targets are. Nothing happening for the moment, which is a little bit, what is a little bit dangerous is that it's the 50% correction. And I often like to aim in the forex markets for the 0.786 because it's a more stable market. Okay, so often it's not the 50% correction or the 61 that it's gonna react to. It's more in bigger time frames. Like let's say you have so you have this move here, okay? So in forex markets, often, let's say the market comes from let's say the market comes from here, okay? So this is how markets in theory move the most of the time, okay? So in a normal market like Bitcoin, for example, which is volatile and often has a trend and it stays a long time in a trend, you can use the 61.8 correction, which would have been this one, okay? And then you also have a different target. So the B always defines which potential C could have, okay? So let's see. I am often interested in finding imbalances here and my entry, or at the 78, or if there is an imbalance, using the 50% of that imbalance, which is over. So everyone that went short on this particular selling zone here, in that case the price came back down, it shoot up. Everyone that went in here has their stops, or they have their stops over that high, or they have their stops over the 78, okay? And then they have their downwards targets of, let's say, this. So what I want to do is, I realize that my target, my stop loss often got triggered before it then went into my direction. So I was like, what if I just put my entry where I actually put my stop? So this is why I try to, in the forex markets, which are almost stable, to trade these levels. If it turns here, great. I don't have a trade, but we have this low here. So if we break this low, we could have potential BC correction, okay? Let's say it moves until there, and then I have another entry here, okay? For the next C move, okay? This is what I look for. Another thing I often don't touch, okay, in just sequence-based price action, like not wedges and all this stuff. These are different things, but this is why I use these levels, okay? And in this case, it would be that level because of the big flush down. I believe to finish these things here, maybe we could see already the reversal coming here, and this is why I don't really know if I will enter this trade or not, okay? I would even prefer taking this level here, that imbalance here, but there's no guarantee the price will move to that high as quick as I think. So we need to wait for the market to give us an opportunity. It's not me trying to find an opportunity. I see the opportunities, but is it the market that wants to give me that opportunity is the question, okay? So if it wants to give me that opportunity and it comes back to these highs and it didn't correct it, because if now, for example, it's gonna do this and coming back up, I will not short it here, okay? But if it comes now here like this and then comes up, this is where I'm gonna short it, okay? I don't know if it is that different to what other people do, but I really enjoy it. I understand the price action better that way. The reason why I took this is because of the big flush down with which we broke structure here. So often, look, we had actually the imbalance, the first imbalance we were trading was this one. So it could reverse from here, okay? Because we closed that imbalance here, from here to here, we closed it to 50% here. This is why I have always this line here, to give me the confirmation that an imbalance is rebalanced again, okay? So, but over the time they are always gonna get closed, the imbalances, completely. So the question now is, are we gonna go down now to take these lows here and then go up to fill the imbalance, correcting, going back up? Or are we going to go now, fill the gap, fill this one, coming back down, creating new lows, and then going back up, okay? So this is what I'm looking for the Euro JPY. And just to say, the markets right now are really not viable. As I explained in the beginning, yesterday was big manipulation hitting the market, and it's very hard to have great setups that work, okay? So be careful at the moment with the forex markets. The price action is not showing you what it wants to do. And look here, for example, this one. What do you want to do there, okay? Like the greatest moment to sell here was here, and here in that wick. It came back up, you had a great entry, you had break of structure to the downside, we had liquidity here, 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 which is a great sign of reversal. We just would have needed this low to break to come and take these lows. A lot of people went short here, but the news candle just kicked everyone out of the trade, did a little correction and rose away. Then here was a very important imbalance to fill, and just a little bit before, vroom, it flushed down. So it's really, really, really hard for the moment to know. You really need to wait for confirmation of the markets to do a move. It's not as like few months ago where you could just use the great imbalances, use price action. Today you need to really wait for the market to show where it wants to go. Yes, and this was for me the biggest shift and the most hard thing to understand in the turmoil we have right now. I had a lot of stop sit and stuff, a lot of break even hits, and I needed to readjust how I think, you know. So let's see. The problem is, until we break this high here, we are bearish. So I would not put in longs right now until we sweep these wicks there. We are in the daily, so it can take some time, but you can also have a lucky shot. I mean, you can now long it and boom, it explodes and you make money, but it's you need to understand that it's a long-term game. You need to know, for example, look your average over 100, 200 trades. If over 200 trades you are break even, you already have the right fundament, okay? If you are in profit over 200 trades, you just get it, you got it, you have it, okay? You are there. Now it's just scaling your capital, okay? But if you make 100, 200 trades and you lost more than 10%, just continue doing demo, and once you're ready, today we have prop firms, okay? The prop firms will help you they will give you access to a challenge to get funded. So today we can get funded by institutions, and you just need to get it. If you get it, if you're profitable in the markets, no matter if it takes 1 year, 5 years, 6 years, once you get it, you can get a prop firm that is giving you 100, 200, 300, 400k in capital, and it's basically a profit split business. Okay, so you can have 80% of the profits and they take 20, plus they take the commissions, the spreads, and everything around it, as usual, as every broker is doing. So it's great. It's an opportunity I personally didn't have 5 years ago, so we needed proper capital from our own, which I prefer to have in crypto than in forex markets, because I believe a good year can double your money in trading, in day trading. If you are very good, you can triple it, but I believe over 10 years you will not make